The Pendulum by Scorching Aggression. This is the debut EP by this thrash metal band that just came out last year. The thrash sound they've got here balances melodic with rhythmic and heavy. The whole album is composed around these melodic guitar riffs and leads with some generous heavy metal influence in those guitar leads and in some of the more mid-tempo sections here, and drumming more akin to groove and thrash metal. And then the vocals are very, very heavy, harsh vocals that would sound at home on death thrash and add a nice contrasting element to the very melodic guitar work. The best part about this EP is definitely the guitar riffs. They're memorable, they're technical, and like I said, they're melodic. But the best part about that is they don't take away from the grit and dirt of the fact that this is a thrash metal album. Some melodic thrash bands kind of lose the sense of what thrash is. It doesn't sound dark anymore. This album doesn't have that issue. Despite the guitar leads being memorable and melodic, it doesn't take away from that dark aggression. And the really harsh, aggressive vocals kind of keep everything in check there. They keep this in dark thrash territory. The guitar work is not a one-trick pony either, because there's also crushing groovy sections and breakdowns, and all of that is done well too. The guitars know when to switch between crushing heaviness and more memorable melodic leads to keep things interesting and in your head. I have to give credit to the programmed drums. Yes, they are programmed, but they sound very natural. They sound like something a drummer would actually play. So clearly the person programming these drums knows what they're doing, and I really appreciate that. That being said, getting a real drummer would still sound very good with this. I have to throw out there, out of all of the follower-created albums that I've listened to this year, this one's got the best riffs. Very tasty guitar riffs here. The biggest criticism I have here is some of the compositional choices don't make that much sense. The EP opens up with the title track, The Pendulum, and it's a 5-minute track, and probably the first 3 or so minutes of it are as slow as thrash can get. It's rhythmic and chuggy and honestly just not that interesting. The last act of the song, the band goes full death thrash. It's the heaviest, most aggressive moment of the EP, probably my favorite moment of the EP, but it took too long getting there. The second track, Seeds of Apocalypse, is my favorite track on the EP, much more energetic, but it still has slow breakdown sections, yet they're done much better. The guitars add some spooky atmosphere to it. They're placed in between the energetic sections to add contrast. It's just done much better. If the title track was instead put at the end of the album and the slow part was cut in half, you would then be ending the EP on that fantastic death thrash outro, and it would be much better than starting the EP with 3 minutes of the most uninteresting material on the record. Again though, this is a debut EP, and as far as those go, this is excellent material. The riffs are on point. Who is this for? Thrash fans in general, but especially if you like your thrash a little bit more melodic, or you like your thrash vocals more on the heavy death end of the spectrum. Give this one a listen and you won't be disappointed.